We are in Genesis chapter 6 through Genesis chapter 8 today in our daily Bible reading. And as we're going through, we're going to do that. And it came to pass that when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them as wives, and such were those they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, and yet his days shall be 120 years. And there were giants in the land, in the earth, in those days. And also after that, where the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. And the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of his thoughts, of his heart, was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him, and at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping things, and the fowls of the air, and for it repenteth me, I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation. And Noah walked with God, and Noah begat sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And then the earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and beheld it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. And make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And they fashion it, and thou shalt make of it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, and the breadth of it shall be 50 cubits, and the height of it shall be 30 cubits. And the window shalt thou put in the ark, and the cubit, and to finish it. And the door of the ark shall be set in the side thereof. With lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood upon the waters of the earth, and destroy all flesh, which is breath of life, with breath of life in heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, and thy sons and thy wives, and thy sons' wives, and thee, and every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort, shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. Then shall he be male and female, of the fowls of their kind, and of the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing after their kind, after his kind, 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, and keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all the food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Thus did Noah, according to all that God commanded him, he did. Chapter 7. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee 7s, the male and the female of the beasts that are not clean by 2, and the male and his female of the fowls of the air by 7, and the male and the female keep seed alive upon the face of the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according to all the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of the waters came upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wives, and his sons' wives with him under the ark, because the waters of the flood of clean beasts, of clean beasts, and of beasts not clean, and of fowls, and everything that creepeth upon the earth, there went in 2 and 2 unto Noah, under the ark, and the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass, after 7 days, that the waters of the floods upon the earth, and in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, in the 7th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and nights. And the selfsame day entered Noah into the ark, Ham, Shem, and Japheth of Noah, and Noah's wives, and the 3 wives of his sons with them unto the ark. And they and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird, every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went up to the face of the waters, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth. And all the high hills that were under the whole heavens were covered. 15 cubit upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moveth upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle, and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both men and cattle, the creeping things, the fowls of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Chapter 8. And God remembered Noah and every living thing, and all the cattle that was within him, and the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged, and the fountains also of the deep, and the window of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained, and the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of 150 days, the waters were abated, and the ark rested on the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the Mount Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month and the 1st day of the month were the top of the mountain seen. And it came to pass at the end of the 40 days that Noah opened the windows of the ark which he had made, and he sent forth a raven, which went forth and to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also sent he a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the soles of her feet, and so she returned unto him to the ark. For the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her in, and pulled her in unto him in the ark. And he stayed yet another 7 days. And again he sent forth the dove of the ark. And the dove came unto him in the evening. And lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters had abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass on the 601st year, in the first month of the first day of the month, that the waters dried up from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering off the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And the second month, on the 7th day, and the 27th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dried. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, and thy wife, and thy sons wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of the fowls of the cattle, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed and abundantly in the earth, and fruitfully, and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. And every beast, and every creeping thing, and every fowl, whichsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kind, went forth out of the ark. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took every clean beast, and of every clean fowl offered burnt offerings unto the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savour. And the Lord said unto his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night. Wow, what a reading, what a reading, what a reading. Our time is up. We are going to call that a wrap. And I can't expound on it because I'm not supposed to. I will expound on it someday. If you have a special thing you would like expounded on, I can do that separately for you sometime and fill in the cracks. But right now, God wants me to just read the book through. And that's what I'm going to do this year. I'm just going to read the book through. And I read between the lines myself, though. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've read it many times, and I understand what's happening. And so we'll see it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.